So, collective, right? Do y'all hear this word being tossed around YouTube like I do? The other day I was listening to a live stream, and it was some black women, going in on the degenerate behaviors of black men, how black men aren't worthy of this, that, and the other. Y'all know how these conversations go. And there was a woman who called up and started speaking to her husband, or speaking to them about her husband, who she deemed a good man, her father, who she deemed a good man, and her sons, who she's raising them to be good men. Doing her best, her and her husband doing it together. These women automatically said to her that your story is invalid. We're talking about the collective of black men. And, the more and more I hear this word collective being tossed around all willy-nilly, I look at what the word means. Collective. This is the team. All things will be a part of the collective. Okay? So when I'm hearing this word be used and used to justify women that are wanting to focus on negativity or negativity within the community, or black men who aren't doing their part, black men who are deadbeats, rapists, abusers, those people, a part of the collective of black men would also be the positive black men, or the black men that are doing what they're supposed to do. That would be a part of the collective. To invalidate it. Now, when this woman starts saying this, they start talking about how they talking about collective. She's giving anecdotal evidence, and her story don't count. Those 4 black men don't count. But then hold on. After they went to going in and calling her a mammy and a pick-me and all this stupid ass shit that people say just for having positive experiences with black men, I mean, it sounds ridiculous. It sounds so fucking ridiculous. If we're talking about a collective, like y'all are claiming that you're talking about, a part of that collective would be positive. She know 4, somebody else know 6, this lady know 13, this lady know 20, this lady know 2. So once you start adding those numbers up, these numbers become a part of this collective. And what model then? I know y'all believe that y'all are going to shame black men into shape. I see both sides using this tactic, and it's not going to work. So then why do you not want to speak to, or at least, even if you didn't have positive experiences with black men, why wouldn't you want to speak to women, allow their voice to be heard, to give other black men a model, a standard, if, again, we're talking about changing the people? But then the question then becomes, well, are some of these women interested in changing black men, or do they just want to go in on black men as a business model, as a way to make money? Because they can get herds of women who have been hurt by black men to come in here and listen to this shit, and to them, it's like church, right? And then the answer is what? Let's just leave black men alone. Now, the women who have had positive experiences with black men are looking like, well, I've had positive experiences. Here's what I've experienced with black men. Or they know black men that have changed their behavior. I've heard some of those testimonies as well. Well, he was problematic, but he shaped himself up. He got himself together. Why would you want to silence those voices? Why is she a mammy? Why is she a pick-me? Why wouldn't you want that to be heard, so other black men can hear, well, I know you can do it, nigga. I know you can. There are other black men who are. There are even black men that will reform their behaviors and become better men. Why are those stories invalid? Why aren't those stories able to be told in these spaces if we're trying to create a better man? If that's really the goal, which again, I don't think that's the goal at all. But it's being sold as the goal. I'm trying to shame these niggas into shape. It's the same thing that when I listen to black men do the same stupid shit, and they will blanket statement the collective, but then they'll talk about, well, my mom, my auntie, my sisters. Well, after a while, all you niggas that have these people, your 4, your 5, your 6, your 7, they're gonna start adding up. So then the blanket statements that you're making about black women become invalid when we start adding your positive stories about black women into this collective. If your mama good, your aunt good, your sister good, your wife's good, your girlfriends or whatever experience you've had some good experiences, well, why don't these count? I'm getting tired of this collective word being used, and then black people acting like, black women will act like there's 1 or 2 decent black men in the nation, and black men will act like there's 1 or 2 decent black women in the nation. And all the stories of positivity can't be told because y'all not being honest. Y'all using this word collective wrong. It's being used wrong, period. Y'all not talking about no damn collective. Y'all are talking about the negativity that you want to focus on. And you can do that. That's fair. That's fine. Whatever. I'm not telling you how to run your channel. But what I'm saying is the word collective, when you keep telling women, well, you being emotional. Y'all keep telling women this shit. You being emotional. This is anecdotal evidence. I'm talking about the collective. No, you're not. You want to focus on the not the underbelly, but you want to focus on the negativity. Just say that then. Be honest then. Well, this is not the space where we want to hear positive things about black men. Say that then. Instead of invalidating every other black woman's experience that they've ever had with black men that has been positive, that has been a story of protection, that has not been a story that ended in molestation or rape. Because if you're going to tell them, well, I need you to understand where we coming from. I've had negative experiences with black men. My black child's father walked out. I need you to hear me. Okay, ma'am, I'm going to hear you. But then I need you to hear me too. These spaces don't allow that conversation to be had. Then the decent black man becomes a unicorn. Well, then what about all these stories, these testimonies these women have that are positive? Why wouldn't you use this as a model to encourage other men to be more like these men? Why wouldn't you allow those women's voices to be heard? I feel as though it's a disingenuous conversation, and it's happening all over the place. It's disingenuous. If you're talking about a collective would include positivity, period. Come up with another word, or just tell the truth. You don't want to hear nothing positive about black men. That's not your interest. You have no interest in that at all. Anybody who speaks positively about black men is a pick-me. Black men don't want to hear positive stories about black women. Any black man that has a positive story about black women or feel offended by some of the things that are being said, well, they a simp. You motherfuckers aren't talking about no damn collective. Or you would deal with the collective, which would include good, upstanding black people that are taking care of their business, that are non-toxic, that are non-problematic. That would include that. And a lot of y'all, especially when we're dealing with a lot of these, when I'm seeing these spaces where these black women are giving this narrative, you're not going to even be able to reach out to a lot of black women, because to them what you're saying is so extreme. It's so ridiculous. Like, I never experienced that. And not only can they not say that they never experienced that, you're going to go in on them. It's going to be something that's negative because they never experienced it. Well, those the black men, shut the fuck up. That's anecdotal. After a while, these anecdotal stories begin to add up, though. Do they not? They begin to add up. I'm not telling black women, and I'm not telling y'all how to run your channels. You want to go in on black men all day? Fine, you can do that. What I'm telling you is that you need to come up with another word other than collective. Because collective means you would have to include the women's whose testimony, or even the men. Sometimes men will call up and say, well, shit, man, you know, I take care of my kids, and I do, you know, I handle my business. They don't want to hear that shit. That's anecdotal. That doesn't matter that you handling your business. Why don't it matter? Why wouldn't you want that story to be heard? To give black men the black men that you're talking about, the degenerates that you're talking about, to give them a model to follow. To show them it can be done, and we expect it to be done this way right here. But y'all don't want to do that. Again, the question is, well, where the fuck is this commentary going? What is it supposed to be doing? If nobody wants to hear anything positive. If we're being told that, you know, this black woman's testimony don't matter, she's just a mammy, she's just a pygmy. She just worshiping niggas or whatever the fuck. Why can't the story of her uncle, her granddad, her father, her son, her husband, why can't that matter? Why can't that count? And she still understand where you coming from? Why can't y'all understand each other? Why is that a problem? Again, y'all can keep having the conversations, but I'd be damned if I'm gonna keep listening to y'all use the word collective and you don't want to hear about no damn collective. You only want to focus on negativity. That's it. That's all. Or even some would deem it as reality, as the if they're using stats and all this stuff, but then they'll turn around and use the word collective. What I'm noticing is that y'all aren't interested in the collective. Y'all are only interested in whatever side you want to speak to or speak from. Then say that then. Be honest about it then. And stop saying collective, because your ass is lying.